Hey.
It's on.
Therapy or trash.
Therapy
Here we go.
or trash.
We have some very special content to review today.
Do we?
It's very special.
Is that special?
Yes. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news.
A little bit of
And
the
I
news.
actually don't know how much the news is covering this subject.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah.
So this week on Therapy or Trash, we're reacting to
A whites only town forming in Arkansas. It's not a parody. It's called Return to the Land. They say it's about ancestry and traditional values, but what they're really building is a fortress of racial exclusion.
And what's dangerous isn't just the racism, right? It's the psychological manipulation, the social withdrawal, and the emotional targeting used to draw people in. This isn't just ignorance, it's extremism. I can't even do it. It's extremism dressed up as community.
That's interesting. That's fascinating to me.
Right.
That's a lot of choices to make in a series that then you justify with a lot of logical fallacy. So awesome.
We're gonna dive right into all of that. Wow. I need to manage my my emotional response because community building is really big and important to me.
Community.
I'm a community psychologist, not just any psychologist.
Yeah.
But community is so incredibly important. We talk about it a lot on the show, how to be intentional with your friends and aligning with people who share similar values. And this is kind of like the dark side of all of
That's like
all of that.
Yeah.
And so
it's like if you were doing therapy with somebody and they're like, and I'm doing exactly what you said and murdered my whole family. And you're like, no. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that.
That's why the sound bites don't always work because people can manipulate our healthy, beautiful social community psychology into something really, really
hot,
dangerous
mess.
So we're married mental health experts breaking down trending topics because not everything that's going viral is healthy or psychologically safe.
That's what we do. Right? I love that.
Do you love that for us?
I love that for us.
And for everyone watching.
Yeah.
And so, as I was learning on the news about this group called Return to the Land, that are, it's a members only group and they're focusing on just only white Christian.
I'm very confused because they're neither like Amish nor are they Native Indigenous folk.
Right. So it's like
returning to what land?
And it's kind of like a take on
go back to Europe.
It's kind of like on that take on like back to the land. It's kind of like a homesteading kind of movement, but it's return to the land. And it reminded me, we've actually done some homesteading to a certain extent. We had internet the entire time.
We did have internet.
So true homesteaders would disagree with that. But we've done some, rural living.
Yeah.
In the Appalachian Mountains in West Virginia for about 2 years. Yeah. We were really immersed in that community and cultural groups and
living, working, building.
Drama that happens in a small rural town.
Are we the drama? No, we are not the drama. We are not the drama.
But what I was trying to learn more and more about what these people are trying to accomplish with this Return to the Land group, is that it reminded me of an experience that I had with someone with with the local in West Virginia while we were living out there. And she was this sweet older woman who disclosed to me in just meeting one another, somehow came up in conversation that she's proudly the person in her church that sits in the back of the church with a gun, ready for any kind of threat or attack that might happen in their white Christian rural church in the mountains of West Virginia.
Sure.
And I was like, okay. But I was processing threats from what? What are you a target of? as a white Christian churchgoer.
I mean, there has been some church shootings and things like that, but it was not.
I looked it up,
Yeah.
of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so according to like FBI hate crime statistics,
Mm-hmm.
not just my own like knowledge base and what
Yeah.
I know of,
Yeah.
and the studies from the Department of Homeland Security and Pew Research, that attacks on religious institutions in the U.S. more commonly target Jewish institutions.
Yeah.
Okay, synagogues and schools.
Yeah.
Black churches.
Yes, for sure.
And Muslim mosques.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, why are they so concerned to the point that they like have people strategically placed in their church, like
packing
with like guns on them, ready to go, ready to attack, you know, when the white Christian churches are the least targeted, in part due to their dominant cultural status.
Yeah.
Like no one needs to or necessarily wants to like mess with them.
Yeah.
And those who are attacked are those who are perceived as the, you know, lower otherness groups. And they're typically targeted by extremist groups.
Yeah.
And so it was just such an interesting exchange to have with someone. Like all of the questions in my mind were internal because I just met this person and I was like, okay, cool. You like good for you. You have a skill set that you're proud of. You're the protector in the group. Okay.
Safety oriented.
Psychologically, I get that, but like socially, the paranoia.
Maybe if they feel that way and they feel that it's necessary, then they get to step in and do that for them because they have the skill set to do that. I don't know. It creates some semblance of like, if you are paranoid, that you're then creates safety for others for that.
Right.
If you're fearful. I don't want to say paranoid. I want to say fearful.
And that was well, it goes from fearful to paranoia because there's no actual threat.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
there's some groups.
But I feel like paranoia,
based on research, Jewish, Black churches, Muslim mosques.
Yeah, they have security.
They have security. It makes sense because they're actively targeted and there's active violence and crimes against them, and that this particular church group felt.
Well, I always think of in Savannah there was that beautiful church.
Which one?
The cathedral.
So many beautiful churches in Savannah.
Yeah, there was that cathedral, and they always had a security guard out front who was armed.
Okay.
All the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that was a Catholic cathedral. Mm-hmm. Historically, they were established because back in the day, the Catholics weren't allowed to be around.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
But that was like what in the 1800s.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do you still need security now? Like when's?
But I guess if it makes you feel better, but I mean, you're not the one.
Yeah.
You're not the one. You're not that special.
Right.
You're the one in charge. You're not that special.
So we're going to be diving into this whole idea of like perceived threats.
Yeah.
The paranoia around that versus like actual reality-based fear responses.
I think my hesitancy to say the word paranoia is only because it tends to be a symptomology around something. So it's like it's now diagnosed in some way, shape, or form versus like just being understood as like this is fear that is actually unsubstantiated fear. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like there's a difference between like paranoia. I feel like it gives you a level of like conspiracy theory-esque type of like delusional, paranoid versus like say unsubstantiated fear. And this isn't just pathology in which I think that they are delusional or have, these are other choices that they're making, I think, that are detrimental, but I wouldn't call them paranoia because I don't think it's an imbalance. I think it's because I tend to think of paranoia as like part of the mental illness part. So
you would say like your hesitancy to label their response or reactions as paranoia is because
schizophrenics have paranoia and they have no choice.
The free will aspect of it.
They have no choice but to be paranoid.
Versus the willful ignorance or aspect of it.
I like the idea of like unsubstantiated fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just my thought. I just throwing it out there in the world. I just yep.
Yeah.
So.
But to me it is like delusional.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's fair.
A lot of it is. And then what happens when you have a group that all believes in the same delusion or for whatever reason, psychological imbalance or chemical imbalance or otherwise, everyone with similar paranoia comes together as a group.
Mm-hmm.
Armed.
Shared delusional disorders.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
And where does that?
They're very rare. Shared delusional disorders, very rare. They're very cool.
So we're going to be diving into all of this paranoia, conspiracy frameworks as we dive into viral clips about that whole return to the land.
Oof.
LLC, apparently.
Ooh, nice.
Because how else are you going to get away with?
Gotta make money with your religion.
Well, they're not. I mean, they're Christian, but it's not their own religion. We'll dive into it.
Sure.
So all of this content is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is not therapy.
Not therapy.
So
not a doctor.
We're going to be sharing.
Oh, wait, you're a doctor.
Yes, but we're not. I'm not your doctor.
Yeah.
We're going to be sharing some viral videos related to all this. We're going to be critiquing some things, commenting on all of the things, and you'll be able to find the links to the original creators in our show notes, either on youtube.com/@witandreason, or once this does make it to our podcast version, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
Podcast. Or at witandreason.com/DC radio. You could find all of our archive shows as well.
Do that too. That's
with
fun.
all the links.
Come by.
So are you ready?
I am
for this
ready.
Exciting.
Can you dig it? Yes.
For this exciting. So let's, just in case you haven't been following the news or you haven't heard this through your news outlet, we're going to get a good understanding of what the hell is going on here with this quote unquote return to the land group. And if you could just prep us with
of course. So what you're hearing is a surface level news, but what we're seeing is a textbook example of social identity theory and ideological isolation at work. So
let's hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it. And I like this guy. Yeah. Right.
We have some news right now. Heads up. If you live in Missouri, a whites-only group called Return to the Land is trying to expand and build a whites-only community in Missouri. Right now, its base is in northern Arkansas, but soon it's going to try to expand to an area near Springfield, Missouri, according to The Hill. Okay. In their community, members are evaluated based on European ancestry. You have to be white. Jews are not allowed in the community as well. They currently have about 160 acres of land in northern Arkansas, and now they want to expand just outside of Springfield, Missouri, and soon to all 50 states in the United States. The co-founder of the group said, quote, "We want to ensure that white Americans who value their ancestry will have the ability to live among like-minded people in the future if they choose to do so, regardless of demographic changes. This is real, and it's happening right now in the United States of America, and not enough people are talking about it, so I will. Spread the word so more people know, especially folks living near Springfield, Missouri. Follow along for all the news you need to know about, and I'll do a full breakdown of this news on my Substack shortly, linked in bio, so subscribe for free."
All right.
So social identity theory explains the psychological appeal of ethnic essentialism.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like those words.
Doesn't make it right or healthy.
No.
But kind of explains a little bit of what's going on here. I mean, there's a lot of factors involved, I think.
Yeah.
But when we're looking at social identity theory, it explains how people derive their self-worth from the groups or group that they belong to. Yeah. And so when that identity feels threatened, as you know, like during, what the creator was talking about, any kind of like demographic change, like that's what's been going on in the States, especially, people may gravitate toward radical in-group protection. Yeah. Right?
Change makes people afraid. Afraid people need to then seek whatever is commonality. Commonality is then used to then exclude. And societally, like this is all reactionary community building. So forming separatist enclaves, like the little things, in response to increased racial and cultural diversity. It claims to preserve culture, but it kind of operates like exit-based politics or like a cult. Or So I mean, exit-based politics is a concept from political economist Albert O. Hirschman in his 1970s book Exit, Voice, and Loyalty. Hirschman outlined how individuals respond to dissatisfaction in institutions or systems. So instead of participating in diverse public life, the group they retreat, they move to like an isolated space.
Mm-hmm.
They like go and hide out on their own. I'm gonna go to my room.
Mm-hmm.
And then they frame this as withdrawal as like a freedom, like, oh, we're taking our freedoms back by being in this isolated space. So you'll hear this in militias, you'll hear this in all sorts of other places that are not really useful, and they're usually pretty extreme, and they create more extremism.
Yep.
So yeah, closed self-governed society. I mean, aka a cult.
I mean, but is it even really freedom if you're kind of like trapped within this group?
That's why it's
you know
ironic. Yeah, that's
yeah. You're giving yourself less and less freedoms.
Mhm.
And I don't know exactly what the rules are around like once you become. I understand that once you become a member of this group, you pay. Oh, I forget. There's like a short. There's like a little membership fee, and then with the idea that you're going to be paying like around $6,000 for some part of the lot of land.
Mhm.
And then I don't know what the rules are as far as like you being there, you building there, you living and existing there, what you need to contribute. And I'm especially curious about what happens if you don't follow those rules. Like what are the consequences or punishments involved or exile from this group, especially if you have like invested money and then maybe infrastructure.
I wonder if anyone's been kicked out. We should probably try and find that out.
I mean, this group was founded in 23 and they're kind of just getting started.
Going strong.
So I don't know if that's even been a thing yet.
Gonna spread their whiteness all over.
Yeah, which is so bizarre. You'll hear from more people's responses and reactions to all of this. But when I was like watching this in the news, I was like, how is this even legal?
That's a good question.
And apparently it's like an LLC that bought it. And so since it's an LLC, then they could create this like private membership association. And then the concept is like, well, these people who are part of this LLC who partially own this land are like consenting members to whatever rules we come up with, even if it's like discrimination against others.
Yeah.
So then they're trying to find this loophole around all of these like civil rights acts where it's like, well, it's only discrimination if like, you know, you agree that it's discriminate or like, or if you could agree to it or you could consent to it, you know, that it's only like preferred, which is like,
oh, that's a special choice.
Which is like a very special effort to try to like figure out how to manipulate the legal system in order to, you know, to operate your racism.
Your white cult.
Right. Right. And so that's extra special about it all. So they're trying to shield themselves from anti-discrimination laws like the Fair Housing Act, which prohibits exclusion based on race, religion, etc.
Yeah. So then you're not buying property, or that's why they're doing the membership. Okay.
Right.
That makes sense. Okay.
Right. And
I
so
wonder if they even own their property then.
Exactly.
I wonder if it's like a compound, like a church or a cult.
And then who's
interesting.
And then who's responsible for like, you know, checking all the legal?
I'm sure they have tons of lawyers. I mean, I'm sure they have a lot of lawyers for this, but yeah, okay.
So they're trying to redefine discrimination as private preference, you know, within this membership organization. And then historically speaking, I mean, you probably are familiar with this as, you know, as you've specialized in sociology, this longstanding white nationalist strategy.
Yeah.
You know, how they try to get those loopholes to create whites only, Christian only, no Jews, no.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
people, no.
White supremacy has been a thing for a very long time. It continues to kind of make sure that they try and increase the civil rights or navigate the laws of civil rights for just white folk. So yeah, it's pretty scary.
It's like there's just so much effort put into these like zones of exception. Like, okay, US, you could have these like civil rights laws, but we're going to try to figure out a way where we could have this zone to ourselves where we don't have to abide by those laws. And then you could stay within that zone and then you have true freedom.
Yeah. True freedom. Freedom.
As long as you're white Christian, you know.
I'm like smaller.
and heteronormative.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the thing about groups like this is that it's exploiting the emotional vulnerabilities like uncertainty, fear of loss, and even this like odd nostalgia.
Yeah.
Of segregated times.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's the perceived fear. It's perceived fear and around what difference looks like.
Yeah.
So you get nostalgic around something that you think that didn't actually exist. But like, for example, like if you were a white kid growing up and you're having kids now,
mm-hmm.
and I know that sounds weird to say a white kid growing up, but all right. So say you grew up in a white neighborhood, and now your kids are growing up in neighborhoods that actually have more equity in them. You're already kind of fearful around what that looks like because you've been born and raised into this racist paradigm, and then you maintain that racist paradigm. So then you then get fearful and nostalgic of the time, whereas, oh, what is it? Why is it so different? Where are all my white folk at?
Yeah.
And yeah, nostalgia around something which felt comfortable or safe for you because you're too fragile to expand.
And then you go on living life through this confirmation bias.
Yeah.
You know,
entirely.
Where if your narrative is that like people who are different than me are bad or dangerous or violent or a threat, then you're going to watch the news, and you're going to pick up the news stories. Or you're going to hear from your neighbors, everything that confirms that bias.
Yeah.
And so groups like this are exploiting the perceived cultural loss and existential anxiety to build in-group loyalty and fear-based belonging. Sounds like a lot of fun. Right?
That's a party right there. A lot of fear.
That's a fun party.
Yeah, I don't want to go to that cookout. All right. Yeah, okay.
And so members are not just joining a community, they're entering a closed belief system that rewards paranoia. I'll stick to that word.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah,
and then potentially punishes dissent. I'm sure there's some kind of consequence. Like, because what if you have like this heteronormative family with these kids, and then your kids grow up and they're like, "Hey, we're gay," and then
you're not allowed to be gay there.
What happens?
Well, they cure you,
or someone comes out of the closet while they're there.
They think it's a choice, so it's a preference.
This is a sarcasm, by the way. Yes. This is not there.
I don't. No, not no. I'm telling you, yeah.
So that was a clip from at Aaron
Parnas. Aaron Parnas. He's the best. Aaron, you're awesome. We love what you do.
He does a lot of news coverage.
He's a busy guy.
I don't know how he manages. You can find him on TikTok.
And he has really good choice in sour
Instagram.
Candy. Really good choice in sour candy. Did you know he's yeah?
What kind?
He likes the same sour straws that I used to eat.
Really?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Have fun with that while you can.
Before I give it candy.
Before you turn into your 40s and have to eat healthier and be more of an adult.
Yeah.
All right, so we got another one. So now that we have a good understanding of like what the hell is going on with this group, this whites Christian heteronormative group that's going on, let's get some videos, some viral videos of people who are commenting on this reality. What is happening out there in the US in 2025. So this satire is more than a joke. It's a therapeutic response to the burnout of being marginalized.
Fair. Let's do it. Okay.
Whites only, Christian only, straight only communities is the best fucking idea. It's actually the only fucking good idea I've ever heard come out of MAGA. I am all for it. In fact, I think there should be an executive order declaring that all straight white Christians have to build their own communities, put a wall around it, make the MAGA hat your flag. Kirk Cameron and Scott Baio can be in charge of arts and entertainment and call it mayonnaise land. We don't fucking want to be around you people. Create your own fashion, your own culture, your own cuisine, and leave us the hell alone. We don't want to hear your complaints when there's no one to do the manual labor. We don't want to hear the complaints from the women when there's no one to do your hairs, your nails, your makeup. And we certainly don't want to be your support system when you're finding out all your husbands are out. Well, we know what they're all out doing. You'll figure it out soon enough.
I mean,
so y'all go create your mayonnaise land and leave us the fuck alone while we're out here enjoying Rainbowtopia.
Mayonnaise land. Oh shit, mayonnaise land. I love that. That is so good. Mayonnaise land. Okay.
That's your main takeaway for that video.
Yes, that was my main take. That was my main take.
So I believe this creator is part of the queer community.
Yeah.
And it is flipping that power.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
I mean, like, describe the dominant group as segregating itself, and then talking about the absurdity of it all, and how unsustainable that idea is. Oh God, it's so it's a good critique. It's an excellent critique on how much culture and economic and emotional labor white supremacist systems steal from the people they exclude. Like,
right.
It's a mess.
And here's the thing: laughter reduces psychological stress and restores agency. So
laugh away.
So laugh away. Have fun with it. This is actually a form of radical acceptance. I mean, just acknowledging the absurdity of supremacy.
I like that. Just
and refusing to play its game. It's like, all right, you want to go like create your little town?
Yeah, let's make all of you go do that. Let's make that a rule. I like it. It makes it wants to make it a rule. So
now I'm not sure how much this community has to do with MAGA exactly. I mean, I could kind of I see similarities in their messaging,
branding,
especially their idealization of Hitler.
That's
times. Something that the co-founders have made statements to.
Oh God.
Yeah. So have fun with it out there in the world. I mean, this is kind of laughable. This whole experiment, particularly because we look historically at how and we'll talk more about this, like how these groups try to exile themselves from society and create their own white specific
mayonnaise land.
Sure. I don't know if we can use that in therapy or professionally speaking, or for education, but the entertainment side of us.
So good. It's so good.
And so that clip was from, he's on TikTok at Jen Jones Gay Guy. So that's Jen Gen Jones JONES Gay Guy. So you could find him on TikTok and then also in our video description.
Yeah, so great.
Let's hear somebody else's response and how people are feeling about this this reality here.
Yeah, for sure. So this guy, the kind of creator challenges the return to the land's core lie that white communities are self-sustaining and culturally original. Because white folks are real original. All right. Yeah. No, appreciate you.
Hey, if y'all got a whites only town, you better make sure that everything you use did not come from a minority. I don't want to see nothing that says made in China. Y'all better use whites only products, okay? I better not see y'all asses at no Mexican restaurants, no Jamaican restaurants, not that there would be any in your area. Anyway, do your research. I know y'all aren't very good at reading, but go look up what black people and other minorities invented and make sure you stop using it, okay? If you want whites only things, you have to use whites only products and inventions. I know y'all think that you made everything, but you didn't. I also don't want to hear no more country music with trap beats and 808s. Get the fuck out. Get back to plucking that banjo. We don't want our music associated with yours. We don't want to be with the likes of you. Get out. Matter of fact, I think the banjo came from Africa. It just had a different name and shape, but the same sound. So I don't think y'all can use that either. If you find out that your lifted Ford F-250 or your Silverado has parts from other countries, you better sell that shit or get parts that came out of America, right? And when your town starts failing because you can only rely on white products, don't come crawling for help. Don't come asking for handouts. Don't be starting GoFundMes that you want other people to contribute to. You got to show your supremacy. This is your golden opportunity, right? Do that. And one last thing, when y'all end up getting tired of each other, don't leave. Stay over there. Stay over there. You want to be with only yourselves so bad. When y'all start infighting, stay over there.
Yeah. You better work it out.
Right.
I like that. I like that. I like that for them. I like that for him. Excellent.
Okay, so cognitive dissonance. The cognitive dissonance here is strong.
Yeah.
Or this return to the land group. And cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort experienced when holding two conflicting beliefs at the same time. So the return to the land members reject multiculturalism while benefiting daily from global non-white contributors.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair. Very fair.
So like,
yeah.
How do do
I mean,
you?
well, it's all
how do you
symbolic.
navigate
It's
all
all
that?
symbolic. Like it's a symbolic. It's not real.
Yeah.
They're symbolic boundaries. They're invisible lines. They don't really want them to exist. They just want to say that they're doing this thing that's different.
Yeah.
Well, and that they're self-sustaining with their whiteness, but it's not real. It's not. It's all symbolic, and they don't really get it. And they don't define who belongs and who doesn't. They don't want to define that because then they'd have to like restrict what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Yeah. So like, to what extent are they like restricting? So you're going to accept all of potentially like the products and the inventions.
You will benefit from everybody else, but you'll be living.
But you'll like reject them from
your day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that work? Particularly around food.
I mean, I mean, that's the thing. They just do it. And I think that's the thing. Like, they just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, the hypocrisy of it,
I know,
it doesn't
it hurts
occur to
my
them.
head.
Yeah, well, that's why I call cognitive dissonance an earthquake in your brain.
I know.
So.
And the rejection of multicultural reality just creates that emotional strain. You know, if they're really going all the way in with this like white, and it's not just any white, it's white Christian straight, right? And you just stick to that, and you only use those products or those inventions or that food, or that fashion, or that labor. And like, how exactly does that work? And so groups like this, this return to the land, promotes this like rigid cognitive schemas, right? These like mental shortcuts where they're trying to like simplify identity into like pure or impure.
Well, yeah, it's all black and white thing. Not to be punny, but like
black and white thinking, right? And it's not clarity. That's like the delusional part of it all.
Because as soon as you ask 3 questions and you're like, oh, we don't have answers to any of these, like that's where it all falls apart. Yeah. So no, it makes sense.
What would your 3 questions be?
What are you using technology of any sort? Yeah. What type of how are you? I mean, I guess if they're growing their own food and doing their own thing, I guess it could be like, how do you maintain your own interpersonal like
I don't know if they're going all that. Yeah.
How do you maintain your economy?
Right.
I'm wondering like what type of services are you utilizing?
To like what extent are you restricting?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Where are you creating these boundaries?
Do you have air conditioning?
Yeah.
Do you have an elevator in there?
And so that clip was from at Disfollow.
Disfellow dipped.
Disfellow dipped. DISFELLOWDIPPED. You can find him on TikTok.
Spelled it out. He spelled it out.
And in our show notes. That's why we usually don't like label the creators while we're doing this. So some of it's very special. Fair. All right, so this next one, we have another someone else's thoughts around all of this. Now, he's not just roasting them; he's asking the deeper question: what emotional damage makes someone want to live in a whites-only town?
Sure, that's actually a really great question.
So they're doing a whites-only community in Arkansas and the fucking Ozarks. A whites-only community in Arkansas. This is where we're at in America today. Like, what the fuck do you mean you don't want to be around people that look like me? Us brown people are fucking cool as hell.
That's true.
Yeah.
Positive vibes, good food, beautiful people. Like, what the fuck do you mean you guys want to live in a whites-only community in fucking America in the year 2025? What had to happen in your childhood or growing up that as adults you guys decided that you guys want to live in a whites-only community? Doesn't that sound fucking stupid? How racist do you have to be to want to live in a whites-only community? I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but even if I was white, that sounds lame as fuck. Like, I would never want to do some shit like that. That sounds fucking boring.
Sure.
Period.
Period. Period. Good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah, no, it's all. So they call it identity foreclosure, right? So like committing to rigid identity without exploration, right? So when you kind of like stick to these things and you're just on your little world and your little purview and your thing, it's out of fear, it's out of trauma, it's out of lack of like these healthy alternative. Like you just paint yourself into a corner with your like fear.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
I mean, this creator is asking the right questions. Like what would cause someone to want to like reject everyone that's different than them?
In
every way, like
monoculture.
in race or skin color, in religion and sexual orientation.
So like they typically call these things like closed systems, right? Or like I guess they talk about like it leads to like the sameness of everyone.
Yeah.
Leads to like a lot of stagnation. Like you don't grow as a community or as a society when everyone's the same. You tend to get really like angsty and angry, and the infighting starts to happen. But because you're so enclosed and you believe that this is the only safe place to be now because you've convinced yourself of this thing, it just continues to boil over. And so many towns have just opened like this that were similar to that, and they didn't let anyone else in, and they whatever else.
This isn't the first
and they
time
all
like
died. So like they all kind of either went away, or the community died, or the business that was there died, and it all just and people it's a mess. It doesn't work. And so as a experiment, it doesn't work. So
and then that's what makes me go back to like to the woman that I met in West Virginia. It's like what is it exactly that happened that leads you to believe that you're a target of some kind of threat or violence or like what is, if any, the trauma there that's leaving you so fear-based and anxious and paranoid?
I mean, for me, I hear people like kind of like they lean in towards like there was a thing that happened one time that then woke up some of their worldview, right? Where like someone who looked like them in some way, shape, or form was killed, hurt, whatever, by somebody else who may or may not look like them. They usually don't care about that. And so that created some fear in their head that they are part of this thing. And so they include themselves into this, regardless of whatever the other circumstances are. So they could latch on to like, oh, the shooting was at a church somewhere. So therefore they go, oh, all churches.
It's like, no, that was a black church that was targeted.
But if one white church has something there, that's confirmation. And then that you double down with that level of like fear. So makes sense. I mean, like lot of logical fallacy. But
and so the extremist ideologies often appeal to those with unsolved trauma, whether that's like within their personal lives or the narratives that they were brought up with. I mean, maybe even vicarious trauma at this point. You know?
Yeah, no, definitely.
And that's something worth exploring for themselves. Why am I so scared of masses of people?
That's a really good question.
Like what?
Like why are people so scared?
What has like actually happened to me or to people that I know versus and I listen to the local radio while I'm driving through rural towns just to kind of hear like what kind of content and messaging they're receiving, and it's a mess. And it's a lot of very like loud, fast talking, passionate, typically like white dudes, you know, blaming everything on everybody else. And I'm like, damn, if this is the only messaging they're receiving. And then, I mean, we have technology now, but if all their algorithms are still kind of feeding into that bias.
And it's all the echo chamber.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
So I'm wondering, like, was there actual like lived personal trauma, or is this like vicarious trauma at this point, or that bubble then doing its work? Indoctrination. So all right, so that clip was from, who was that from?
That is from Ramiro T03. There you go.
At TikTok. And again, we'll have this in our descriptions. All right, so let's hear somebody else's thoughts on all of this. I'm loving all the takes. that glass guy was just like the pieces weren't going together.
Well, I like when people get to this point where they're just like everything. They're just like they're done. Like, you know what I mean? I always think of emotions as colors. And like one of the things is when you're just like fried, it's not because you don't have any emotion and you're numb to things.
Yeah.
That emotional apathy comes from all of the emotions hitting you and you're just done. So it's fatigue. It's emotional and compassion fatigue.
Yeah.
It's not because you don't care. It's because you can't care because there's too many just things blocking the way. So it absorbs all the light, right? It all absorbs everything from you. So I love this. This is going to be great. I think she's amazing. So let's see what she's got to say. All right.
I see more white folks worried about that white only town than black folks. Video after video, I'm seeing, oh my God, y'all, they're being a whites only town in Arkansas. Did y'all see they're building that white only town? What are we going to do? Nothing. We're not going to do a damn thing. Baby, Mother Nature will take its course. Black folks ain't worried about that shit because 9 times out of 10, they don't believe in vaccination. They don't believe in doctors. They barely can cook. The children gonna have father uncles. It's gonna become a cult. They're gonna find a passage in the Bible so one person can become the full leader. And baby, we're gonna have Waco all over again. Natural selection will take its course. Let them white folks build their shit. See, the thing is, they're building their stuff out of hate, no matter what they say. When black people built their community, it was for love. It was for protection. It was so we could have something to pass down. White folks have this whole country to pass down. They said they want to preserve their culture. I don't know what kind of culture they preserve. I saw them playing a flute. Hell, even the dog is white. Let them have that shit.
Love her.
The radical acceptance.
Fantastic. She's amazing. Love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that compassion fatigue at this point, especially when it comes from people of color.
Yeah.
It's
real.
White people do white nationalist supremacy shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Let them just don't do, as long as they're doing it on their own. You come to different neighborhoods, you come to different places and spaces that are not yours to try and sell that stuff. You've seen how people respond, which I love, which is they gather as a community and they move them away.
I think that's a part that I struggle with while learning this news. Is that like, okay, number one, how's this legal? And then number two, does it really matter to
if they do it to themselves?
Yeah.
And are away from me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a Mexican American woman,
I mean,
living in this land of
the one thing that I think about is what happens to the kids who get raised there. How they become the most extreme. And the thing is, because they'll become the most extreme, because it's not, for example, like religious ideologies, like if you go to like say the Amish or the Mennonites, you don't hear like Amish and Mennonite shooters. You do hear white Christian nationalist shooters.
Yeah.
So that's part of the problem. Like the Amish, they have their own deal. They're doing their own thing. They bring it into themselves. They have these, they have a whole gamut of like rules and things and stuff there. Like they're not, it's not like they're going off to go make meth and shoot people up.
Right.
So I don't know. I just, so.
Is there any risk to the rest of us if we allow the compassion fatigue and the acceptance, just be like, all right, go do you.
So here, let's do it this other way and how we see the world in certain ways and how there's a lot of bias there. Ready? So here's a little thought experiment, if you will.
Sure.
Now picture a group of people. They all speak the same language. They all believe and they have the same belief systems. They exile themselves from everyone else and they have their own little camp in the middle of nowhere where they're just deciding that this is how they're going to live. This is what they're going to do. And this is how they're going to, this is all they believe in. And this is what they're going to do. Now, if you said they were Muslim, right, you now think of some like terrorist Taliban camp.
Oh, I didn't. I was like, oh, no, that makes sense.
No, like terrorist Taliban camp. We kind of call them like these extreme places that we've bombed into these other things. It's what creates terrorism in a lot of ways. Just as, I mean, white nationalists are the largest terrorist group in the U.S. And
I mean, she brought up a good point. Is that like when Black or brown communities are like coming together, or even like the LGBTQ community, they create their own families, chosen families, especially if they were rejected from their own biological families, or families that they were brought up with. It's coming from a place of love for one another. And to support one another. And it really has very little to do, if any, with other people.
Yeah.
It's less about like, no, you can't come in. It's more like, no, we're just focusing on ourselves and on our families and in our religion.
Yeah.
You know, and our practices.
The purposeful, but it doesn't usually create purposeful exclusion.
Yeah, that purposeful exclusion is like the weird part.
Yep, that's what I mean. That's
right.
Yeah, the isolation that it's creating.
Yeah. And then like all the creators saying like, well, no one wants to go.
I just
anyway.
Stay out of there. Just don't go there. Yeah.
Like you don't have to like
put them all in
refuse
place.
any of us. We don't want to go there anyway for the most part. I guess.
Yeah.
From what it sounds like. And the only concern is the legal loopholes. You know, is this going to be precedent for this being created and replicated in other communities that could be detrimental?
Yeah.
To Black, Brown, Jewish.
That's the question. When does it tip the scales or become detrimental? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no answer to that.
It's sure, go do you and focus on yourselves, but like, why do you have to be all coming hot and heavy, refusing people who aren't even interested in joining you? It's very odd.
It's wild.
So Black and Brown communities shouldn't have to carry the burden of confronting every supremacist group. And that is the compassion fatigue that I think you're going to see from a lot of these creators responding to this reality.
So,
and that clip was from at, how would you say that?
JUS Nene 2.0.
There you go.
Right.
You could find them on TikTok.
Yeah.
All right. So this other clip, this response feels comedic, but the prediction is real.
Yeah.
Control-based groups tend to implode.
I do like this person's.
Damn. This is a white-only town. White supremacists, to be specific. We said we making
Man, we heard you. Nobody want to live with y'all dirty ass. No way. Keep y'all ass over there. Damn.
Well, hold on. Why y'all don't care?
Man, take y'all ass over there and go on. Leave us alone. Shit, this what we been wanting.
Well, what's wrong with us? Why nobody want to live with us? Well, this ain't no fun if y'all don't care about living.
Hell no, we don't care. We been wanting y'all ugly ass to go over there and live by yourself. Leave us the fuck alone.
I'm confused. Well, who we gonna blame when the shit don't work out? This ain't no damn fun. Oh, hell. Well, I guess we can start accepting some folk. Well, I think we can open up a couple spots for you. We're not gonna pay you a fair wage, but you're more than welcome. I don't like this.
That's great.
The roller coaster of the response.
Yeah.
That is just so predictable.
Yeah.
Because it's happened before.
Yeah, it has. It has. I mean, it has happened before. Like they've tried these versions of things in different ways. I mean, if you look at like the Mormon Church did that, the Fundamentalist Church of the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, patriarchy, all the things, many wives, all that stuff there. Secrecy, they make choices, secrecy, harm, that stuff happened. They've changed and made some revisions over time, but you know, these things are different versions of cult that usually lead to exploitation.
And I mean, when it comes supremacists groups, enclaves, often follow this like high control group dynamics.
Yeah.
So there's this like rigid
hierarchy.
I always jokes.
I know, hierarchical. I remember you talking about
I had to practice saying this word for my dissertation.
I know, I remember.
I'm still.
We went back and forth.
Stutter over it. Hierarchy.
Trauma small t.
I know.
Yeah, you did perfect just now.
Thank you. Well, that rigid hierarchy, the punishment for dissent and the gendered obedience as well. I mean, it's all historically led to collapse. And so time will tell. We'll check back in another, 10 years?
It's been 2 years, so who knows? But
I mean, they're just getting started to like live together. So and we're going to be diving more into understanding what you mentioned, like, is this a cult?
Yeah.
Right. And there's a few models to kind of take a look at. One is Stephen Hassan's BITE model, BITE.
Yeah.
That's I don't want to bite.
Yeah, it's bite. It's a bite model.
And it stands for when you're assessing people, groups, circumstances, is there behavioral control?
Mm-hmm.
Is there information control? Is there thought control? And is there emotional control?
Mm-hmm.
So when we're looking at this group, for example, the return to the land needs at least like 3 of the 4, suggesting it's a pretty high demand, psychologically manipulative environment. Behavioral control is that like they have to put their money into it and then go develop on this land or go live on this land.
Mm-hmm.
The information control is the questionable one because I don't know what that's about.
Okay.
In there, I
mean, what information comes in and out?
I'm sure they still have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, no, but they'd probably limit they'd probably have blocks on that stuff because there are those like boxes that like.
Well, I know just because it's possible doesn't mean they're doing it. So we don't know what they're doing about it.
But what I'm saying is it's out there. So if they wanted to utilize stuff that's out there, they can.
The thought control is by being so selective and making sure you have like this European ancestry and and it could only have like Christian.
Well, and I'm sure there's enough shame and guilt and other things there that
heteronormity and then the emotional control question mark as well. I mean, the emotional control is their stance on like white Christian heteros are pure and better than everyone else. And so if you don't align with that, then the emotion is like, I don't know, disgust or disdain or so there's that emotional control as well and that rejection power. So we'll dive more into cult stuff too, but that last clip was from
Rayon Artez. I'm going to say that RAEONARTEZ.
I leave the fun stuff
at TikTok.
I leave the fun credits up to you.
Sure, I can read stuff. So yeah, I think one of the things. All right, so talking about this next piece, I think there's a lot of things that sound like indifference, and we talked about the difference of like compassion fatigue, but it's usually even just like a call out.
Yeah.
And so like calling people out on their garbage there and like challenging some of those things. So I like this one because they definitely just kind of are calling people out, and that's useful. They need that check. I mean, as a society, that's actually what we need a lot of the time is that there is those checks to those things so that you don't fall into this trap, but they're going to fall into it. Oh, it's not sharing.
Rewind.
It's not sharing. Rewind. Share. There we go. Sorry, y'all.
So by now, we've all probably heard about the group of people who started an all-white community right outside of Missouri that is thinking about expanding. And I want y'all to know that I don't care. I cannot express enough from the bottom of my heart, from the depths of my soul, how much I do not care. In fact, I encourage it, because the folks who think like that should be in one community together. It is safer for everyone else if they're not around us.
Safer.
And that's the difference between groups like that and Black folks. I've never understood why people had a problem with Black people existing in spaces that are safe for us, like HBCUs or other Black places for Black people to congregate. And that's outside of the fact that white folks don't need safe spaces to congregate, because every space is literally a safe space for them.
Yeah.
I think they should go for it. Couldn't think of a better idea myself. Now, what I will say is I think it's a little ironic that Trump and his friends don't have anything to say about this. I find it odd that the White House hasn't put out a statement talking about revoking money or funding from somebody because of this. Could just be me, but whatever.
And healthcare and the research.
Yep.
But this is fine.
This is all right.
And so that white safe space ideology,
yeah,
kind of going back to that, it often masks the desire for dominance, not safety. It's more about that like power and control in that sense.
It's all,
and then for marginalized communities, create safe spaces for survival.
Yeah.
You know, this segregation for supremacy is
because like even just like supremacy takes like a really large modicum of like narcissism, right? So then you have this like collective narcissism. So like because of this group is superior than others and you deserve special protection and all these things there, like even at the cost of others, that I mean, think about it. Narcissism, we throw that word around a lot, but like narcissism is like you thinking you're better than others at the peril of others,
right?
I mean, remember, it's not just like you think you're better than others, that just maybe ego or being an asshole, but this is something stronger, which is at other people's peril.
I like that distinction there, that grandiosity as well, where
so
you think all of these things, even though you haven't done anything to really support, to support all of that. That's self-worth.
You have
to the extreme.
Yes, you have a large level of entitlement.
Right. And this creator, unlike some of the others, is bringing up that silence from institutions or from our government, our federal government, the institutional betrayal that we always face when systems claim to protect everyone, ignore harm against the marginalized groups. So like if this is some kind of like legal threat to fair housing, for example, or to civil rights or discrimination, then let's go ahead and let's have someone do their jobs. I don't know whose job that is, but someone should be addressing this.
Somebody needs, So
that clip was from the Real D. Thomas for Real.
Yeah.
In TikTok.
Yeah.
And then we got a couple more and then we'll be wrapping up here.
I do like this one because this one it's all about them trying to like rebrand like displacement as like destiny, like manifest destiny. Like it's kind of I like some of this irony there. So like here I let's let them roll. I appreciate that.
So a group of pimple puss people are building an all-white community in the Ozark Hills in Arkansas. That is literally a requirement to join this community. You must be white, they said. No black people, no Jewish people, no homosexuals or anyone a part of the LGBTQIA plus community. You must prove your European ancestry and you must be Christian and not follow any non-European religion. If I'm being honest, my initial reaction upon hearing about this all-white community being built, praise be. Praise be. We have prayed for times like this. People have been begging for years for white people and J-Lo to go away and stop bothering us. But unfortunately, I know this community is very unserious and it's not going to last for a couple of reasons. Number one, the community is called Return to the Land. Having people prove European ancestry to join a community called Return to the Land on American soil? Be so fucking for real. I'm gonna hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. That's not your land to return to. If anything, you should be returning that land to Native Americans. They're talking about we're creating this community because we want to be able to control who our neighbors are. If y'all would have left the world the fuck alone and stopped Christina Columbus Lopezing everything, we wouldn't have this problem. Then they're talking about we want to be able to preserve white American culture. The fucking irony of building a community on stolen land to preserve white American culture.
That is the best.
Is this their way of trying to convince everyone that they were given the villain edit? Like, no, bitch, you're just the fucking villain. Like, what the White Americans have no culture. Their only culture is stealing. So to say you're preserving your culture by building a community on stolen land, a brain-eating parasite would starve. Second reason I know this all-white community is not going to last, the family tree is a wreath. And in an all-white town, the only people for the white men to oppress are their cousin wives and their children. Not being able to oppress other minorities, that's not going to fully scratch that oppressive itch that they have. And you know what happens when a white man gets tired of his wife and children. Click, boom. If they were to return to their actual land in the mountains of Caucasus and leave everyone else alone, the world could begin its healing. But the second they realize they can't fully participate in their favorite extracurricular activity of bigotry, they're going to voluntarily dismantle that community. Let's also not forget, they had to be taught how to properly bathe, and they don't believe in vaccines. Mother Nature has the opportunity to do the funniest thing ever right now. I don't. Either way it goes, this community is not lasting very long. Unfortunately for the rest of us. Peace and love. Talk to you later.
Love her. That's fantastic.
Again, these videos are for entertainment and some education.
Yeah, entertainment.
Now, we don't know what their thoughts and opinions and practices are around vaccines or bathing or
any of those other
or incest.
No.
So those were all some assumptions derived from historical references.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, like, really what they're talking about is, like, you know, control, more control, all sorts of control. This one, like, milieu control is, like, you know, your group around you and the people in which you see in your periphery. And so to be able to control everything within a given system allows you to, like, it screws with people in really big ways. And so, like,
that's the concerning part.
Yeah. I mean, so, like, basically, like, they talk about, like, thought reform.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's commonly used to, like, identify the cult behaviors, right? Kind of like how you were talking about bite. So the issue with when you control a milieu that way and you control who they're interacting with, how they're interacting with them, and what capacity that interaction is then reflected back onto the core message of whiteness and white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically just have, like, this, like, you bounce everything back, everything gets bounced back to white supremacy. So it's a really dangerous way to, like, program people or brainwash people in a certain way. So yeah, it's so Robert J. Lifton's 8 criteria for thought reform is, like, commonly used to identify the cult behaviors.
Yeah.
So it's scary. So yeah.
And I'm so glad that someone finally pointed out the absurdity of you have to prove do they look at a map? You have to prove European ancestry in order to return to your land in the U.S.
Someone else's land on the U.S.
Stolen land in the U.S. that doesn't fucking belong to you.
So, but, you
so
know,
that
more manifest destiny.
Colonial logic.
Yes, manifest destiny. It's our land. All land is our land.
While erasing its indigenous and multicultural roots is like absurd to me. That is that's ridiculous. And so when we're looking at, like, Lifton's criteria for a cult, right? Some of the things that are picked up from this reality is this, like, demand for purity, which they're claiming is Christian white straight people. This sacred science or this unquestionable ideology, the doctrine over the person, so individuals must conform or, like, be expelled, because that's all, if that's all that who can enter. I'm guessing
if you break those rules, do you leave? You have to leave. And that's the thing, those are blanks we're filling in ourselves, but that's the assumption.
And then dispensing of existence, so outsiders are unworthy. So those are some of, like, the cult like stuff that
we're better than you.
It's picking up.
We're better than you.
And so that last clip was from Nene_Jones 3. You could find a link to them in our show description.
They're fantastic.
Now here we go. Let's really dive into one of my favorite topics lately: cults. Cult psychology. We're gonna end on a high note here.
So when I worked at the hospital, one of my favorite client bases were people who are coming out of cults who ended up they commit crimes because they wanted to get out of the cult. So then then they'd be incompetent in trial because they would either feign mental illness or engage in certain things were fairly mentally ill because they were very traumatized. And so then I'd be able to work with huge numbers of people who are actually coming out of cults in the state of California for these various issues to be competent in trial. And so we'd work through a lot of trauma work. I really like this stuff. It's a lot of fun to work with cults or survivors of cults or people trying to get out of cults. Good stuff.
The fun part being intellectually stimulating for
it's different. It's different work. How often you get to be a person who works through a cult.
So if it looks like a cult, isolates like a cult, and controls like a cult, it's time to stop calling it a community.
Fair.
6 signs someone is in a cult from a licensed therapist. Number 1, the leader is never questioned. Even when the leader causes real harm, they rationalize it. They say things like, they probably had good motives. It's no longer about what is right or logical. It's about staying loyal no matter what. Number 2, there's an us versus them mentality. The group is good. Everyone else is wrong, toxic, or lost. There's no in between. You're either with them or against them. And if you're against them, you are the enemy. Number 3, confirmation bias runs deep. They only trust sources that reinforce what they already believe. Anything that challenges the group is ignored, dismissed, or labeled as evil. They're not thinking critically, they are reinforcing a narrative. Number 4, isolation. They start cutting off people who care about them. Friends become distractions. Family becomes a threat. They begin to place the group above their own family, trusting the group's approval more than the people who've known them their whole lives. Number 5, fear-based control. They're not staying because they're thriving. They are staying because they're scared. They've been told if they leave, they'll be punished, abandoned, or destroyed. Fear becomes the glue holding everything together. Number 6, they have no idea they're in a cult. They think they've found the truth, but their thoughts, words, and choices have been shaped without them realizing, and their ego doesn't want to admit they've been brainwashed.
Yeah. That.
That's gonna need an edit.
Hey, I mean, like, I like what they're saying there, because it's not just ideological. It's a whole lot of like infrastructure. That's why home is really important, because the idea of like home and community are so integral to like who you are and what you're experiencing. So this builds out all of your aspects of like all aspects of control, right? So housing, religion, schools, who's seeing you, how they're seeing you, so surveillance. So it permeates all aspects of your being and all of your like hierarchy of needs on that base level. Yeah, it's a mess.
So I'm guessing you're seeing, especially as someone who's worked with people who've fought to get out of cults, you're seeing a bunch of red flags. Here.
Oh, sure.
I mean, the mental health risks alone are immense. When it comes to groups like this, the identity foreclosure, the emotional manipulation, the loss of autonomy, the family estrangement, even if they're moving their nuclear family into this.
I wonder how visiting works.
Into this rural community. What about the rest of their family? The doctrine over the person, so individuals must conform or be expelled, like we talked about. The dispensing of existence and others are unworthy. So we know that there's like 2 co-founders involved in this LLC. That's building out these
communities.
I don't want to call it a community. They call these properties, these acres of land that was stolen from indigenous people. And so it is isolated. So there are a lot of concerns. The founders there, we're not sure about like how much rule and control that they have over the people, if the people could leave, what access to information they have. So there's still a lot of question marks to this new phenomenon, this replayed new phenomenon.
Well, I mean, because it's the thing, like it exists in so many different ways. We've watched it exist in so many different ways. It's a new iteration of it. Like, I mean, there's both ones that were meant for good and others that did not go so well. I mean, like, they're all over. It's just all sorts of ways. So this is just another thing to kind of observe and see what's happening. But
so that last clip was from Therapy to the Point. You can find them on YouTube. And I mean, the big question is, what are your thoughts and feelings about all of this, if any? Do you have any reaction?
Me? Everyone out there, if you have reactions, I'm happy to hear them. My reaction is like, it's if you notice that you have people in your life or people that you know that are drawn to these types of ideologies, first you're gonna want to start by identifying what they're really searching for, like whether it's like security, identity, purpose, and then try and like name the harm without shaming the need, right? So like there is like, hey, I hear that you really need to feel safe, or that you're looking to feel really safe, and I hear you feeling unsafe the current community you're in. Also, how could you build that out while maintaining your link to everything else that's part of a more inclusive or healthier dynamic? So something like that.
So just copy and paste what Alex said. Okay. Say that to the people you're concerned about.
Are they going to transcribe it. Is it transcribed? Are we
Sure.
transcribed?
We are.
Sweet.
witandreason.com/DC radio. We
So
have
you
a
can
transcription
go in there,
of our show.
Go in there, transcribe what I just said, and then it'll be there. I mean, the transcription, and then you copy it, and then you paste it to your friend and be like, this guy's.
I mean, the difficulty, even when it just comes to general therapy across the board, especially if someone's struggling with these types of ideologies, it is that that motivational awareness. You know, like not everyone is aware that what they're believing or practicing is even a problem, let alone if they do know that it's a concern, are they even motivated to do anything about it?
Yep.
You know, so that awareness might not even be there because they've been already kind of like isolated.
Yeah.
Right. In this echo chamber of like, no, this is the reality that others are dangerous. Like that's what's wrong with that. Like, that's just fact.
Yeah.
To them. And so if you start exploring that a little bit more, you could use motivational interviewing. You help them reflect their reasons for wanting to join some kind of group like this. You could gently question any kind of contradictions that might come up. Like,
well, I was thinking motivational interviewing is like, I call it mom talk. It's like, but so what do you think about that? And what do you think about that? And what do you think about that? And it kind of chips away. You keep on asking the train of thought and trains of questions. Oh yeah, but if it's like that, how was that? Or what do you like about that? And it, like, you keep on chipping away that way, and you build the motivation around it. So it's a good strategy.
There's a lot online to learn more about it.
Yep. So if you or your loved one, if your loved ones are considering joining a cult,
yes,
there are plenty of resources.
Yes, there are plenty of resources. Or if you are recognizing that they're in a cult, or maybe you're recognizing that you're in a cult, or maybe you're recognizing that there's just other strangers out there in the world that have these belief systems. How are you taking care of yourself?
Yeah. Well,
laughter, comedy, satire.
Therapy's good. Happy to work with people who have these issues. I love to do that work.
Yeah.
I have several on my roster right now, and we do good stuff.
Yeah. And we have some educational and materials out there for you at the Aura Health app. You could access some classes around emotional regulation, even multiculturalism and multicultural humility, and some nice meditations for you to practice with. If you're like noticing the news and what's going on in 2025, and the cognitive dissonance that you're observing in others is just like hurting your brain like mine. Give yourself some extra time to take a break and to recognize that this is not the whole world that thinks this way. This is a very small population. Will it have any direct impact on you? Probably not. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully the legal system still does its thing and has its
or
checks
it won't.
and
They'll
balances
do exactly what they're going to do, and they'll do it right there until they don't.
Yeah. But I mean, if history is going to repeat itself,
in which way?
They will fail.
Yeah.
They will implode and then come back to the rest of society. Hopefully
not as damaged.
Yeah.
They'll be damaged. Sorry. I would love to not.
Then you might have to see them through forensics.
I would love to work my way out of a job. That would be great. I would just love to like do all the preemptive stuff.
Right.
That would be lovely. Let's stop creating more trauma and just like be nice.
And let's just be proactive and preventative.
Just be kind, thoughtful humans.
Yeah. And support one another.
Who don't support white supremacy.
Yeah. Let's just dismantle white supremacy.
Yeah.
That'll be healthier for everyone.
It is definitively not useful for your mental health.
And if you don't like that answer, it doesn't mean that science is wrong or bad. It just is.
It just means your parents
it's not an opinion.
It just means your parents don't love you. Wait.
Or you had some kind of trauma. I don't know.
Sure.
Or some kind of chemical imbalance. I don't know.
White supremacy feels like a real downer.
Yeah. But
let's talk about something else.
We had some fun with it.
Good. What are we talking about next week? Because I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's making me really sad. I just don't like white supremacy.
That's fair. That's fair. We'll talk about love and dating.
Thank God. All right. I love love. I love dating. Well, hold on. I love talking about dating.
Thank you.
Because I date the most wonderful woman on earth already, my wife. But yes.
But unfortunately, the dating world is like really harsh and problematic.
There's hope. There's always hope there.
Maybe we should talk about like
beautiful
couples, but then couples are there. It's all we'll try to find some good. So on the therapy or trash side of these.
So join us next time. Therapy or
We'll
trash.
try to focus on more therapeutic things.
There's some
A
therapeutic
lot of these
things.
responses were very therapeutic.
Highly therapeutic.
They're funny. They're
Also
healthy
funny.
for you. White supremacy, obviously, that's the trash.
That's trash.
Yeah. That's our professional opinion.
Professional opinion.
Or just professional science. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Fair.
All right. Until next time, every Tuesday, we are live here. YouTube, definitely. That's a consistent one. Instagram sometimes, TikTok sometimes, Facebook sometimes, depending on how the tech gods want to work.
The gods of technologies.
But we'll see you every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Yes.
9 p.m.
Eastern.
And then you could catch us on demand at youtube.com at Wit and Reason. And our show is broadcasted through DC Radio after it's edited and cleaned up. And then you could then catch it wherever you get your podcasts. So stay tuned to our social media at Wit and Reason so you could get all of our announcements about our latest podcast release.
And we'll catch you next time.
Until next time. Stay safe. Have fun. Go rest.